You don't have to pretend to be someone you're not.
But I am one of those people pleasers, and I know, and I'd love to be able to break it. I feel it's so innate in who I am, but I don't know how. I know it causes problems in my life. It causes me to be a victim, because I'm being nice when I really wanted to say, I don't want to be around you anymore, or something like that. So can you address that, and tips about, how do people break that when it's really so much more of who they are?
Okay, great. As for the people pleasing, it's one of the most insidious defenses against our true self, because it's like the whole world is projected out there with all of these people, and whether we talk about teenage peer pressure, which is a version of people pleasing, that gets to be very intense when teenagers are kind of working through what is my identity and who loves me and who likes me and peer groups and all that. But we can say that even that same desire to be liked, to be included, to belong to something and someone and feel that sense of belongingness, that does seem to follow us all the way through our adult lifetime as well. And like you were saying, it's become such a habit that we realize that there's conflict with that, where we sometimes will speak something or say something for someone's approval or to be liked. To not hurt the feelings, and to kind of not rock the boat too much, go along with the crowd, go along with something. And then when we're away from that situation, we can have conflicting thoughts and feelings that come in. Why did I say that? Why did I commit to that? To do that this weekend? I would much rather do this and this weekend instead of that. And then there's like a war going on inside. It's like a committee meeting. We gotta hear all the different sides, and it's like suddenly we're at a meeting of the United Nations in our own mind. And I find that the way through that is basically what I would call integrity of mind, where everything that we perceive and feel and think and believe and desire becomes into alignment. But to me, that's when Jesus is talking about right-mindedness, he's talking about an integrity of mind where everything is completely in alignment. So there's no aspect of our mind that's out of alignment, that wants to do something else, where there's conflicting things that are coming in, whether they're conflicting identities or conflicting desires or conflicting outcomes, that all of that is washed away when we come into alignment with God, or we come into our sense of right-mindedness. But it takes a lot of practice, because we're trained in the other way. We're trained to have our identity and our emotional well-being based on how other people treat us, how other people speak to us, how the world seems to come at us seems to have a lot to do with our state of mind, instead of us being 100% responsible for our state of mind. So I really love that part of the Course where Jesus says, I am responsible for what I see. I choose the feelings I experience, and I decide upon the goal I would achieve. And everything that seems to happen to me, I ask for and receive as I have asked. Talk about 100% responsibility. That's like a ho'oponopono statement in the Course. That is, there's nowhere you can squeeze out of that one. It's 100% responsibility. And really, it's wonderful when we're willing to start to take that much responsibility for our state of mind. I also like the line in the Course where Jesus says, you are not responsible for the error. You are responsible for accepting the correction for the error. Because I think a lot of times when we start to take responsibility, we start to take ownership of guilt. We start to take ownership of blame, and we reel it in, and then we feel like, I'm doing this to myself, and it's terrible. It feels awful. And we stop short of forgiveness. We stop short of that release, like, this is not God's will for me. God wills for me to be innocent, to feel that innocence. And so we can bring it back sometimes all the way back to the thoughts, but we still feel responsible for the thoughts. We still feel responsible for the erroneous thoughts. And we need Jesus to remind us, you are not responsible for the error. You are responsible for the correction of the error. That's what the atonement is about. And I think with people pleasing, we get a lot of opportunities on a daily basis